Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York.
Washington Post World.
June 26, 5:15 America, New York. Syrian and Russian paratroopers conduct joint drill. Syrian state media is reporting that hundreds of Syrian paratroopers took part in a joint drill with their Russian counterparts in the war-torn country in the second joint maneuver this month.
New York Times World News.
June 26, 5 o'clock America, New York. France's far-right surges into parliament, and further into the mainstream. Marine Le Pen's national rally now has a place of power in the political establishment and a chance to prove itself in the eyes of voters. Marine Le Pen, Centre, the leader of the far-right National Rally, alongside newly elected lawmakers from her party at the National Assembly in Paris on Wednesday.
BBC News World.
June 26, 4:32 America, New York. Ukraine war. UK joins ban on imports of Russian gold. The move by the UK, US, Canada and Japan will strike at the heart of Putin's war machine, the UK PM says.
Mirror World News.
June 26, 4:30 America, New York. Vladimir Putin, to be overthrown by three rivals in hammer-to-head, says CIA insider. Former CIA Moscow station chief Daniel Hoffman says Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu may be central to a mutiny to overthrow the president. BBC News World.
June 26, 4:25 America, New York. At least 17 found dead in South Africa nightclub. The cause of the deaths remains unclear, and police say an investigation is ongoing.
The Washington Times Stories. Advocacy.
June 26, 4:17 America, New York. Live updates. Ukraine war looms large at annual G7 summit. The latest on the G7 summit, the annual meeting of the leading democratic economies, which this year is being held in Germany's Bavarian Alps.
New York Times World News.
June 26, 4:16 America, New York. Live updates. G7 to seek ban on imports of Russian gold. President Biden announced the move on Sunday, ahead of a summit that will focus on the war in Ukraine and the worsening global economy. Russia targeted Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, striking a residential building with missiles.
Washington Post World.
June 26, 3:54 America, New York. Carpe diem. In Ukraine, war turning love into marriages. A growing number of couples in Ukraine are speedily turning love into matrimony because of the war with Russia.
New York Times World News.
June 26, 3:13 America, New York. The U.S. and Britain will ban imports of gold from Russia. President Biden announced the decision before the start of a G7 summit meeting in Germany, processing gold ingots in the Siberian city of Krasnoyarsk, Russia, in March.
Washington Post World.
June 26, 3:10 America, New York. As summit host, Spain urges NATO to watch its southern flank. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is certain to dominate an upcoming NATO summit in Madrid.
Mirror World News.
June 26, 2:48 America, New York. Up to 22 dead in nightclub following poisoning, as bodies strewn across tables. Family members and parents were stood outside the tavern in East London, South Africa, shouting to get in and calling out the names of their loved ones as the horrific scene unfolded.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines. Sky News.
June 26, 2:41 America, New York. At least 17 people found dead in South African nightclub. At least 17 people are reported to have been found dead at a nightclub in South Africa.
WorldCBSNews.com.
June 25, 23:47 America, New York. House passes resolution demanding Russia release Brittany Griner. Griner was detained at a Russian airport in February after officials alleged they found vape cartridges in her luggage which contained cannabis oil.
Mirror World News.
June 25, 21:53 America, New York. TikToker shows up 10 hours early for flight so she can beat queues and nap in airport. Maura Dore has gone viral after she filmed herself spending the night at Dublin Airport in order to beat the queues and get a decent sleep before her flight to London.
The Washington Times Stories. Advocacy.
June 25, 21:34 America, New York. Biden arrives in Europe for G7, NATO summits. President Biden touched down in Europe on Saturday for a series of high-profile summits with Group of Seven and NATO leaders as the administration looks to support key alliances in a region still grappling with the fallout from Russia's assault on Ukraine while expanding efforts to counter China's growing influence around the globe.
RT World News.
June 25, 2125 America, New York, Pentagon weighs in on abortions. The U.S. Defense Chief vows to protect health and well-being of American troops. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said the Pentagon is reviewing its policies and available options, as permitted by federal law, to protect American service members' access to pregnancy terminations following the Supreme Court move to repeal Roe v.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
June 25, 2108 America, New York. Mississippi's last abortion clinic faces rush of women trying to beat deadlines of biology and of law. On the corner of a street in Jackson, Mississippi, America's reckoning with abortion is up close and raw. The Pink House, as it has become known, is the only abortion clinic still functioning in the state of Mississippi.